September is National Preparedness Month. So I thought, what would be a better time to start a channel to help everybody understand how to be prepared. Now, be prepared. Questions are, prepared for what and how prepared, right? There are survival experts that can go out and they can, with no tools, they can start fires and they can build shelters. They're medical professionals that they can, cure all kinds of different illnesses or treat wounds and so forth. But what about the rest of us? So on this channel, what we're going to talk about is knowledge. I'm not talking doomsday prepper stuff, right? By knowledge, I'm saying like, do you know how to treat a basic wound, or do you have do you know how to purify water, or build a knot, right? Like make a knot to tie down stuff on a truck. Gear. What is some essential gear that really everybody should have? Again, we're not talking any doomsday bunkers or anything like that. Just really basic things. And then we're also going to talk about why care. Now, let's address the last question first. Why should we care? Well, FEMA believes that everybody should have basic knowledge and basic supplies, both at home and in case you need to leave your home. And so does the Red Cross. And so do various other religious organizations, right? Now, why would they care about those things? Why do we need to do those things? What is there to worry about? Well, let's think about this. If you were to go to the store to buy food and you brought no form of payment, right? So no credit cards, no cash, no nothing. Most people would say, oh, you weren't prepared. If you were to go outside and it's pouring down rain and you don't have a raincoat, you don't have an umbrella, nothing, people would say, oh, you're not prepared. If you're going to go into an exam or a job interview and you've done absolutely zero work putting into that, studying or whatever, people would say you're unprepared. People understand that you prepare for things. Well, when it comes to minor things, mundane things, that's okay. But why don't we prepare for larger things? And so what do I mean by that? Well, one thing to be concerned about is people. Unfortunately, there's just bad people in the world. There's just crazy people in the world. Now, that might be mass shootings. Here in the US, there's almost 2 mass shootings, meaning 4 or more people involved in that incident every single day, right? This could happen at church, at school, at concerts, at nightclubs, at a birthday party, right? We all see this on the news. And it doesn't have to be mass shootings. I mean, you can be going out to your car in the parking lot and somebody tries to mug you, or maybe they carjack you, or whatever the case may be. If something like that were to happen, would you know how to avoid that happening? Or if you couldn't avoid it, would you know how to not be injured? Or if you or someone else was injured, would you know how to treat those injuries? Next one. Nature. This is really the biggest thing, right? I mean, we're talking forest fires, right? People jumping out into the ocean in Hawaii, or the smoke from Canada literally drifting across the whole ocean and impacting Europe. It could be hurricanes. I live in Florida, and we do get hurricanes. Sometimes they're really big, and sometimes it causes a lot of problems. Sometimes they cause flooding, right? There's earthquakes. There's all kinds of different natural phenomena. And so you need to be prepared for that. If you had to leave your house immediately, would you, there's a forest fire about to burn your house, for example, would you have what you needed to take with you in order to make your travels successful, right? And I'm not talking huge guns or whatever. And this is not about good or bad about guns, by the way, right? But just everybody seems to have a fetish. Oh, I have a gun, I'm ready. It's like, no. Maybe you got little kids. You might want to have some toys for them to play with, right? To keep them calm. Or you have a dog. My dog has allergies, right? If I'm going to be away for a week, I want to have his allergy meds with him, or else he's just going to be scratching. And if you've ever had a dog, it really sucks, man. They tear off the skin, and then it's like months to recover. Do you have basic clothes, right? Do you have some cash? Maybe there's a blackout and you need to buy some things, and there are stores still open, but you don't, credit cards and the like won't work. So do you have some basic cash? And there's lots of other things that you might need. Now, if you were going to shelter in place, right? Maybe it's a hurricane, you have a strong house, you're going to shelter in place. Okay, well, let's say the power goes out for a week. Do you have water for everybody in the house to drink? Maybe not only power goes out, but you're on a boil water alert or something like that. Do you have a way to cook food, right? Do you understand the difference of when you should stay and when you should leave? Next thing. Accidents, right? Nobody wants an accident to happen. That's literally why it's called an accident. So this could be a car wreck. It could be, some yard accident. I'm sitting there using a chainsaw to cut off a branch limb, and the chainsaw goes into my leg. What do you do about that, right? So accidents happen. That's just the unfortunate thing. And then everyday life. So if somebody gets a bad cut, do you know the difference between that versus a serious cut that they're going to die from in like 3 to 5 minutes? If you're going camping, hiking, spending time outside, right? Which everybody should try to do. It's nice outside. Do you know how to build fires? I genuinely, I genuinely believe that if you gave your average person a book of matches, sent them into the forest, and said, build a sustainable 4-hour long fire, I don't think your average person could do it. Some, sure, but I think a lot of people couldn't, and that's just sad. If you're out, do you know what to do about drinking water? Do you know how to purify water? Do you know what that even means? Like filtering versus purifying. You go to the store and there's distilled and there's purified and there's, all these different. Do you even know what that means? Are you one of these people that you've got this set of kitchen knives and they go dull, you grumble about it, and then you throw them away and you get some new ones? You can always just sharpen those knives and save yourself a lot of money. And not only money, but for the past few months, while you've been thinking about getting a new set, and every time you go and cut that tomato, it just sucks and splashes, you could have had sharp knives all along and just slice all of your food really easily. So again, I'm not talking any Armageddon type scenarios. I'm not talking about, you need to go out and purchase any crazy gear or learn any massive skills. If you spend all of your time learning skills and you spend all of your money buying gear, you would literally never be able to prepare for everything. I mean, that's just the way it is. But you have to be reasonable about things. Could an asteroid come and smack me down right this second? Sure. Am I prepared for that? No. Do I plan to be prepared for that? No. But I do live in Florida, so I do want to be prepared for hurricanes. I do want to be prepared for flooding. I do want to have basic stuff, so if somebody gets hurt, I can do some first aid. I do want to understand some knots because I go and help people move sometimes, right? And you want to tie stuff down, because if you're helping me move and all my stuff goes flying out of the truck because you didn't know how to tie a knot, I'm going to be pretty pissed. So these are the types of things that we're going to talk about on this channel. Now, I don't know everything, and you don't know everything, so that's not what we're after. What we're after is engaging in conversations. I want everybody to comment on these videos. If you agree with me on something, great. If I say something you didn't think about, let me know. If you totally disagree with me, well then great, let's have those conversations, because again, I don't know everything, but I do enjoy learning about things, and I do enjoy experimenting with different gear, and I've done this for decades. And so I think that my thousands of hours looking into this and then distilling it down to just a few minutes can be helpful for somebody. And then maybe somebody else can chime in that's also got a whole lot of experience, right? So let's join me, if you would. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so that you know when the next videos are going to drop. We're going to talk about, again, different knowledge, different gear, what these things mean. If there's something in particular that you want to talk about, let me know and we'll do that too. All right. So I'm looking forward to our journey together.